This product is an H-2000 hydrogen suction device developed and manufactured by Hue Light. The most important thing in using the product is to use complete distilled water. However, sterilized distilled water is recommended because this product is used to restore health. This is the H-2000 carrier package of the hydrogen suction device. Here's the basic package. This is the touch panel. Here's a distilled water inlet on this side, and here's a dehumidifying device that generates hydrogen gas and connects it to the cannula. This is a dehumidifying water bottle. I'll explain about this in more detail later. It's like this when you first receive the product. I'll connect the power. Plug the power here. The power is connected. There are on/off buttons on the control panel. If you switch it on, the device will turn on. If you turn it on, the operation button does not work on the setting screen, which means you cannot enter the information you want. The reason is because there is no sterile distilled water. It says there's no sufficient distilled water. This is because the device is delivered without distilled water. Therefore, sterile distilled water must be injected first, then operate the device. First, I'll inject sterile distilled water. The distilled water inlet is made of stainless steel 316. All stainless steel materials inside the device are made of the same stainless steel as an injection needle. I'll inject distilled water. It is recommended to inject 1 liter of distilled water. 1 bucket at first. Please pour 1 bucket of distilled water. Display shows when distilled water is not sufficient. You can refill it by 1 liter each time. I have injected distilled water. A safety device is prepared to prevent foreign substances in the inlet. Please take a look here. If you look at the distilled water inlet, there is a stainless netting inside. It's too dark. I'll turn on the flashlight and show you. If you look at it closely, there is a stainless netting to prevent foreign substances. So, you don't have to worry about getting foreign substances in here by mistake. If you take a look at the display button again, the LED light with low distilled water sign is now gone. Then, close the distilled water inlet valve. Close the sanitary cap. And set the time for hydrogen inhalation. The time can be set in units of 1 hour and 10 minutes. You can set it up to 5 hours and 50 minutes max. The time setting works continuously. You can set the time you want. Set the time and press the play button to activate the device. When the device is operating, the hexagonal logo here lights up to indicate that it is operating. Sterile distillation is now circulated for the first time, and hydrogen and oxygen gases begin to come out. This is how the display shows when the gases come out. How can you check the hydrogen and oxygen coming out of the device? If you look inside here, you can see the bubbles coming up. You can also check it here. Now that I open the device for the first time and didn't inject distilled water into the dehumidifying water bottle, it doesn't look like the hydrogen and oxygen gases are coming out. I'll put distilled water in a dehumidifying water bottle. When you separate the dehumidifying bottle, there's a small gouge here. If you lift it up using the gouge, it comes out easily. Pour distilled water to the appropriate amount. You have to now close the cap and fit it into the dehumidifying hold. It's a screw, so you can turn it counterclockwise and insert it. Now you can see that there's hydrogen and oxygen coming out. If you pour more distilled water than appropriate amount in the dehumidifying water bottle, you don't have to worry. Just open it and pour a certain amount into the water bottle and throw it away. You empty it like this. If you use it for a long time, there will be water in this dehumidifying bottle. So empty all the water and replace it with new distilled water. If you want to stop the device while you're using it, press this stop button once. Then the sign shows stop. If you want to use it after using the toilet, press the play button once more to restart the device. 5 seconds after the operation, the hydrogen separation cell works, and bubbles of hydrogen and oxygen will begin to come out. There's a night button here. This night button turns on and off the LED light, controls the LED light regardless of the functions of the device. I'm turning it on and off now. If you press this button, the LED light on the front and LED light on the side will turn on and off. This function is useful if the light disturbs your sleep. When you want to turn on and off the LED light, press this button. And if you travel far away with this device or don't use it for a long time, water inside the device need to be drained. I'll show you how to drain the distilled water inside the device. First, turn off the power. Here's a manual. All you have to do is to follow this manual. I'll follow the instructions on the manual. First, turn off the power. Next, open the distilled water inlet valve. The reason why the valve needs to be opened is because water can be drained only if the air goes in. Air from the outside cannot get into the water tank while the device is operating. Only hydrogen and oxygen generated inside the device passes through and is discharged to the outside. It's designed like this because of hygiene. So, when the valve is closed, it is to prevent contamination of external gas and the water inside it. I'll now open the valve. There's this hose plug that we provide. Prepare a bucket for water. Plug it in until it clicks. You can see water coming out here. The reason why I use the water draining function is because when the power is turned on, we can't see it from here. Here's a water level alarm. Here's a water contamination LED light on the side. You must use distilled water with this device. If by mistake, non-distilled water is added, the light will be turned on in the display window. Now, I'll explain how to replace parts and the aftercare. I'll turn off the device and show you the inside of the device. Turn off the power. Make sure the power is off and unplug it. I'll open the back cover first. This is how the inside of Hue Light H-2000 looks like. Let me briefly explain the composition. Here's an ion filter. There are 2 modules, each cell modules. There's a pump. I'll show you how to replace the module of the first pump. Press here when changing to a pump. Loosen the bolts. You can take it apart with your hands without any special tools. Replace the pump. I'll show you how to separate the cell modules, which is very important. Water has to keep going into the cell. So, I'll close the valve and proceed the work. Separate the connector. This connector is very tightly coupled for safety reasons. When you uncouple this connector, apply some force and take it out. Make sure the valve is closed. After taking out the connector, separate the cell module. Disconnect the tube that's connected to this. Cover with the AND cap to protect the hydrogen cell. As with the cell module, loosen the bolts by hand. Lift it up like this. Remove it and replace it. Now, the cell modules are separated. Cell modules on the right can be separated with the same way. Now, let's assemble the separated cell modules again. Reinsert in reverse order of disassembly. If you hear the click sound, it's done. Next, reconnect the connector that you just disconnected. Connect the connector. There's a hook here, so it doesn't get loose. Let's connect the pipes first. When you connect the pipes, each position is assigned, so you have to put it in the right position. I'll fasten it again. The most important thing here is to open the valve that was locked earlier. And I'll assemble the pump that I removed earlier. Insert the pump until it clicks. You can do it like this. Connect the power connector. Connect the power and fix it. There are other parts here. There are many parts, like ventilation fans, LED lights, etc. If you want to replace the LED light, take it out like this. If you look here, there are connectors. You can't make a mistake because it's all labeled here. If you want to replace the LED light, please remove the connector and replace it. Now, I'll close the back cover.